How's it going, everybody? Tyler Anderson here from Tyler's Real Fishing, coming to you guys with another episode of Skeeter School. Welcome to class. You know, here at Skeeter Boats, we love having fun catching fish and spending time with our families out on the water. But of course, before the fun comes, the safety has to come first. So the entire goal of this Skeeter School video series is to give you guys practical tips and tricks to become not only more efficient boaters, but safer boaters in your Skeeter boat. So let's get started talking about the basics of driving a Skeeter boat. So the first thing that I want to talk about with you guys is that as Skeeter boat owners, safety is our #1 priority. I know that oftentimes we go out there and you see a bunch of people having fun out in the water, but a lot of boat drivers out there are reckless, and boating is a naturally dangerous activity. And so we want to operate our watercrafts with safety at the top of our minds. So the first step of that for me is no matter where I am in the country, no matter what type of body of water I'm in, when I launch my Skeeter bass boat, I want to make sure I fully understand the body of water in every aspect of the word. Now, some of the ways that I do that, no matter where I am in the country, is I look at my fish finders, my chart plotters, of course, look at my maps, and make sure I understand where, of course, the safe places to drive are, the safe lanes, and the not safe places. Here in Texas, we've got a ton of submerged trees, rock piles. When I launch the boat, and of course, when I'm driving anywhere around the lake, I want to make sure I'm looking around for other people in the water, especially kayakers, people floating in tubes. In the summertime, right now that I'm filming this, there are tons of people out on the lake, and so I know you want to get out there and have a great time catching fish, but you want to always be aware. Never drive your Skeeter while you're on your phone. That is always a recipe for disaster, and we do not want disaster to come. So put the phone away, just like you're driving your truck or your vehicle. Make sure you are paying attention out on the water. That is the overarching theme of this video. When it comes to driving your Skeeter, you want to make sure you are paying attention. The second thing to do before you ever even turn on your outboard engine is you want to make sure that your life jacket is on. Here I have an auto-inflatable life jacket, so of course, if I was to fall in the water, it would inflate and keep me afloat. You want to make sure you have your life jacket on with your kill switch attached. That way, if anything goes wrong on the water and you are ejected, your kill switch will be pulled and your engine will cease operation. So now that we have all the proper equipment on in terms of life jacket and kill switch for safety, we're going to make sure we're trimmed all the way down so we can get up on plane easier here in a second. We're going to power pull up so we are no longer secured to the bottom, and crank up our Yamaha outboard. As we idle away from the boat ramp, one thing you always want to check as an angler is that everything on your boat deck is clean. Now, we just launched the bass boat. I haven't even taken out any of my fishing gear yet, but I know that, let's say you've been fishing all day, you stop at a location and you take off to go somewhere else. You may find that you have left bags of soft plastics, loose rods and reels, pliers, scissors, anything that can potentially fly out of your boat as you get on plane and drive down the lake. You want to make sure that it's stowed away or properly secured. If you have a trolling motor on the bow of your Skeeter boat, that is properly secured and fastened down, that way it cannot fly up as you're driving. The last thing to do is to look all directions around you to make sure no other watercraft are coming your way. Again, make sure you're trimmed down, give it some gas, and get on plane. So now that we are operating our Skeeter on plane, in order to get to, at least in my experience, the most safe and optimal operating range, I'm going to trim up either on my blinker trim here on my FXR, or if your trim is just on your throttle control, you want to trim up a little bit until your steering wheel gets a little bit easier to turn, give it a little bit more gas, and you are right at optimal operating range. Now, of course, everybody wants to go fast, so give it some time to learn how to properly drive safely at this speed. As soon as you are ready to operate your Skeeter at a higher speed, give it some more gas, trim up a little bit more, and you're ready to fly. As always, safety is paramount. Make sure that you are keeping an eye on your surroundings to make sure that your fishing day can be the safest possible. Now, when it comes to taking your boat off plane, you want to use a lot of the same safety procedures you use to get your boat on plane. You want to look around your surroundings, make sure that even after taking the throttle off, your forward momentum would land you in a safe position. So we're in a good place right now. I'm going to let the throttle off and trim all the way down so that the boat can come down nice and soft. And just like that, we are ready to catch some fish. Now, as I mentioned earlier, here in Texas, we have a lot of timber in our lakes, which is why it's so important to make sure you are coming off a plane in a safe location. This is a very bassy looking area, and it's also a very dangerous looking area. So of course, safety, as I've said before, is paramount here at Skeeter Boats. My name is Tyler Anderson, and we'll see you all next time at Skeeter School. Perfect, here we go. Driving by the sticks. you want to make sure you are paying attention. Yeah.